Episode 9 of Solo Camping for Two shows a shot of a Shinkansen, and Shizuku narrates a message to Saya and Mizuki that she is in Nagano, and this is her first multi-day trip. It cuts to Gen and Shizuku, and Gen's already drinking. And she's like, wait, you drinking already? And he's like, yeah. So what? You want one? And then he hands her a cold one. And she's like, we need snacks. And she, luckily, had some spicy cream cheese snacks she prepared at home. Gen's like, all right, let's set up. And Shizuku is like, this area is on an incline. And Gen says that designated campsites are normally level. And the narrator chimes in on where safe camp areas are, and you want to avoid sandbanks, bottoms of cliffs, and areas with poor drainage. Shizuku is like, well, we just have to set up our tents along the slope. And Gen is like, you got it. Going across the slope makes it hard to turn in your sleep and can be uncomfortable at night. Shizuku is like, it's warm, but in the highlands, it still gets cold, and I want to start a campfire. But first, I gotta whip out my nata knife. And Gen is like, why are you saying it all so creepy?
She's gonna cut his dick off.
Oh, this'll date me, Lorena Bobbitt. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah. Maybe don't look that up, people. Yeah.
Nah, live your life. It's like looking up Drop the Blade. Like, or not, is it Drop the Blade? Is it, or was it Lemon Party, or was it Meat Spin, or what?
Or the Pounder, or the one guy, one jar.
Yeah, don't, that one don't ever. No.
Mr. Hands.
No, Greg, those are the wrong ones. Those are so bad. Those are the worst. Oh man, Greg's steering our listeners.
Okay, sorry, just
again.
Tub Girl, I guess. We'll just go with the classic.
No.
Shizuku says she wanted to get a knife to split wood and decided on a nata instead. Then the narrator explains how to effectively use a nata and how to baton to split firewood. Shizuku has the wood all split and she's excited to start a campfire, but Gen is like, wait a minute, do you remember what low impact camping is? And she's like, but of course. And then he gives her a spatter sheet, which reduces the heat that's transferred into the ground. And the narrator tells us how it works. And Gen says we're having fun in nature. So this is one way we can protect it. She's like, oh shit, are you sure I can have this? And he said, I'm just being a good master. And it isn't all about having fun. And we can't forget our gratitude and fear for nature. Shizuku thinks it's because of how Gen teaches her that she can keep things like this in her mind. It's nighttime now, and dinner is served. And Shizuku makes 2 types of fresh seafood spring rolls. And Gen is like, oh shit, raw fish? And she's like, yeah, I've been cooking mostly meat since I thought you preferred that. But today we're having seafood. And it's the first day, so the raw food should be just fine. And I think that's a valid concern.
But also, from my understanding, most meals in Japan are made with some sort of fish or sea-based product.
I think he's more worried about the rawness of the fish, and since they're traveling, having it warm up as they travel and then they get some sort of food poisoning. I think that was his biggest concern.
Not that he doesn't like fish, because he obviously does.
Not that he doesn't like fish, but I think he's just worried about raw fish while camping because of the heat. But I think Shizuku did it right by serving it first, because if they just got there, then it would be the most cold.
Yeah, I agree.
But Gen eats it, and he is elated. But Shizuku isn't done yet. The next dish is a Vietnamese, I'm going to mess this up.
Aquapasa?
How do you pronounce it?
Aquapasa.
Aquapasa. You are now subject matter expert on everything Vietnamese.
No.
With fragrant cilantro.
Maybe it's probably the way you... Acai Paza? That's what it is.
I have no clue.
I was just throwing it out there as the words look at me in the face.
Yes, Vietnamese sensei.
Oh, Greg, that's
and
not
this
even...
day's theme is Vietnamese. Gen is like, I can't get enough of Shizuku's Aquapasa. And she's like, wait, we need some white wine. They eat some more and drink some wine. And then she whips out the French bread and grates some cheese. And Gen is like, I'm fucking fiending. Give me some of that too.
She is the but wait, there's more of this show. Like every meal she makes, she's like, hold up, bitch. Don't worry, there's more. And he's just like, I'll have some more, please.
And she's like, Gen, but look under your chair. And then she's like, you get some French bread and you get some French bread. After dinner, Gen thanks Shizuku and then says he's going to sleep early so he can catch the sunrise. And Shizuku is like, oh, damn. Okay, I'll go to bed early too. And Gen tells her that the real charm of multi-day trips is on the second day. In the morning, Gen makes some coffee and they drink and then watch the sunrise. And then Gen says the real charm of multi-day trips is time. No check-in, no check-out. And you get all the luxurious time. And Gen is like, well, time to go back to bed. And Shizuku is like, wait, what? And then he goes to sleep. I get it. This is exactly what I did on my camp trip. We got there and I'm like, I'm just going to fucking sleep. I'm going to sleep. For me, it's some of the best sleep. You just get to sit there, lay down in nature, and you don't have to worry about anything. There's no cell signal, nothing. You just get a full day of sleep recharge, and it feels amazing.
I thought about this episode when I was watching the Summary Card Done. I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I really have that kind of life. I don't work like a normal person. I don't work a normal 40-hour work week. I play a lot of video games and I DJ. So I think about my work week and how much time I have to myself. On any given day, I have about 5.5 to 8 hours of work, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday. I don't have to be up in the morning. So like this, the way that Gen feels about camping is the way I feel about my day-to-day life. And this is the way I set it up. This is the way I love it. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, I'll just go to bed right now. And then I'll wake up and I'll be like, you know what? 2 more hours wouldn't hurt. And I just go right back to bed.
Shizuku is like, well, this all makes sense actually. But I'm wide awake, so I'm going to make some breakfast. It shows a little montage of Shizuku doing stuff like going for a walk, visiting a shop, reading. Then Gen wakes up and he's like, I wonder where she went. It's not even noon yet. And he whips out his phone and it's 11:08. But Gen cracks a cold one and is boiling up some wieners. Shizuku heads back, but finds a big field of flowers and enjoys the view. But she's like, well, it's cold, so I'll head back. And that's what I imagine how you would camp. You would be like, damn, this is beautiful. Fuck, it's cold. I'm going back.
Every fucking moment of every day. Literally earlier, Greg, to really hammer home my feelings of coldness. Earlier, when I was getting ready, Greg and I were messaging back and forth, and I was like, I'm good to go. And Greg's like, all right, I'm good to go right now. And Greg calls me, and I was out in my living room fiddling with the thermostat because I hit the program button, and now it's stuck on that, and it's trying to program every single day what I want the temperature to be. Greg, you know what temperature I want it to be every day? 74. 72 to 74 is the perfect degree, no matter if the air conditioner is on, which I'm pointing at because it's right next to me, or the heater is on. That's it. It's my comfort zone.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There is something wrong with that because I feel like a lot of people get mad at me for having a comfort zone that I know the exact... I mean, like, it feels like the most dad angle. Like, who touched the fucking thermostat? Who changed my fucking comfort zone?
I think that's a fine temperature. A mighty fine
Greg.
Temperature.
What's your favorite temperature, Greg? Do you have a favorite temperature?
Our temperatures are actually pretty close.
Hell yeah. Amen to that, dude. Really keeping it with the old guy aesthetic we got going on here.
Speaking of old guys, she sees Gen heading back from the little market and catches up to him, and he was buying more drinks. And Shizuku tells him what she did this morning. And then she's like, wait, have you been drinking? And Gen sheepishly says yes. Shizuku is like, I was cold just a moment ago, but now that I'm with Gen, I feel so much warmer now.
Yeah, this is weird, man, because you got a little moisturized in your pantaloons. It's okay. It's all right, man. You ain't got to worry too much about it. Probably sometimes looks over and he's like, oh, I felt my dick wiggle. You know what I mean? Like, you could say that. You can't say that out loud. Don't do that. Don't listen to me when it comes to relationship advice. You can't just look at another human being like Louis C.K. and be like, I felt my dick wiggle. This is a reference to a joke me and Greg were talking about before the show started recording, just so everyone's aware. But yeah, no, I think it's so weird, and it sucks that we're not allowed to express our feelings to other human beings, you know?
I mean, you can.
You can. It's just so awkward. It's so awkward because it's never perceived as anything other than creep.
I mean, I think it depends on how you do it. Because if you just walk up and you're like,
hey, you made my dick wiggle.
Go to order a coffee. They're like, good morning, sir. What could I get you? You're like, oh, my dick wiggle.
No, obviously don't do that. Obviously be somewhat coherent and cognizant of your surroundings. But I've literally told strangers, I'll be like, hey, I just want to let you know there's nothing sexual about this, but I think you're a very beautiful person. You're aesthetically gorgeous. You've got whatever you've got going on, keep it going. You're gorgeous. And like women and men and non-binary people will be like, damn, that was cool. Thanks. I really appreciate that shit.
I don't think that's bad.
I don't think so either. But I also think that it's a very like American man thing. Like you don't compliment your homies. You know what I mean? Like you don't kiss your homies goodnight.
I mean, maybe you don't.
I do. Kiss them right on the forehead every time.
I've definitely, like, with strangers said something like, oh, hey, I think your makeup looks really good. Your hair looks really good or whatever. And I've always had good reception to that. They're always surprised, like, oh, thanks so much. I'm glad somebody noticed. But I don't think I've ever done that where I went up to a stranger and just be like, just breaking my neck and just be like, have I seen a 10? I seen one now.
So I will say, you know that, okay, so I've got that shirt that says send lewds.
Mm-hmm.
I've DJ'd in that shirt. The other day, one of my bartender coworkers was like, has that ever worked? And I was like, it has. It actually has. Like, I'm just DJing. Lady walks up, is like, what's your Snapchat? And I was like, here's my Snapchat. I mean, it's DJ Montague everywhere. So it's literally everything is DJ Montague. And then she's like, check your Snapchat. And I was like, cool. Will do. This was like 2 months ago. And I just look on Snapchat and it's her boobs in our bathroom in the bar. And I was like, hell yeah. Nice. Thanks. That was a pleasant surprise. You said you appreciated my looks without telling me that I looked hot. I mean, that's a normal behavior, right?
Sure. Sure is. Shizuku is like, I was cold just a moment ago, but now I'm with Gen and I feel warm. And she's like, well, Gen, those drinks will taste better with my cooking. But then they get back and Shizuku starts the second day of cooking. And Gen thinks he doesn't particularly care for cooking and he likes eating good food, but he's too lazy to cook. And everyone has their own idea of fun, but he doesn't get cooking. But watching her makes him think that this is what it means to enjoy hard work. Shizuku gets the first meal ready, but it'll take some time to cook. So she works on the next. And Gen thinks that maybe he'll give cooking a try next time he solo camps. Shizuku makes some fry pan corned beef croquette, and Gen just starts creeping on it, and he starts eating it and is loving it. And Shizuku says she doesn't like using leftovers for cooking, but since it's a multi-day trip, she made it a priority, and Gen thinks that that is a good idea. She says the Dutch oven she brought is heavy, so it would be a waste not to keep using it. And she makes a Shizuku mini beer can chicken throwback to episode 1.
I'm such a child. When she said, I'm using my Dutch oven, and then she's pulling the fucking fire logs off of it, I'm just like, tee Dutch oven, fart noises. Like, I'm such a child, bro. I can't with myself. It's hard being this childlike.
Yeah. All right. It's night now. And Shizuku is like, that's enough for me. And Gen is like, oh, it's early. And she said, it's a little cold. So she was just going to jump in the sleeping bag and read a book. And Gen is like, well, if you need anything, you just let me know. Shizuku wakes up in the middle of the night and she needs to go to the bathroom. But a fog rolls in and she's scared, but she really needs to go. But then she remembers what Gen said about asking him for help. She wakes Gen up and he's like, holy shit, it's foggy. I knew it was going to rain, but this fog is crazy. And he's like, you got to fucking piss or what? And she's like, yes, but don't say it like that. That's embarrassing. Gen says the weather can change fast in the mountains. And then the narrator talks about how fog happens. And Shizuku is like, this is all interesting, Gen, but dude, I gotta go. I gotta go, man.
She's like moving her legs around, and he's just like, this is how the wind blows up across flat mountains. And she's just like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm about to pee my fucking pants. Please,
I'm about to buzz.
Oh, Lord, I'm about to buzz.
Gen is like, okay, heard. First, you need a headlamp, and you got to be careful when going to take a piss. And then the narrator goes into headlamps in the different lights to use. They get back, and Gen is like, back to sleep. But Shizuku is like, well, can you wait until I fall asleep? And Gen is like, what the fuck? Are you a fucking kid? What the hell? And she's like, well, it's scary. And Gen is like, fine, go to sleep. I'll wait outside of your tent for a little bit. Shizuku explains that she thought she was over it, but she woke up and felt like she was in a strange place. And Gen says he gets it, and he's experienced it before too. He said that when he was a kid, he used to go camping a lot with his dad, and he woke up and everything was foggy just like today. And he went crying to his dad, and his dad just laughed in his fucking face. And the outdoors is massive, and we are powerless against it. It's morning now, and the fog clears, and she thanks Gen for watching out for her. And they clean up, then hop on the Shinkansen, and Gen is like, man, when we travel together, that means we have to fucking leave together. I didn't think about that.
Why is he so awkward about leaving at the same time?
I don't know. They're not even in the same row of
Dude, they are
the train.
fucking 10 miles away from each other, and Gen's just like, God, she's in this fucking car. I can fucking hear her breathing. And then, like, she's like on her phone, like, I really enjoyed myself. And he's just like, oh, fucking people. You know what I mean? Like, it's very weird. Makes me laugh, but also, like, chill, bro. It's not that serious.
Shizuku thinks the trip was a success, but she also doesn't know much about Gen, and he probably wouldn't want her to ask. But this was the first time that Gen told her about his past. And that's how we conclude episode 9.
Excellent episode. Enjoyed quite a bit. But also, Gen is so fucking awkward. Like, he is awkward and doesn't understand social cues at all whatsoever. And like, he has no concern for the feelings and well-beings of others. He's just like, I'm here doing my shit. And I get it, because also like the way that he was left and how he had to be alone and he had to fend for himself pretty much his entire life and all this, like, all those things make sense. But Jesus Christ, man, read the fucking room for a second, please.
He knows. He's admitted that himself too. So it's definitely not one of his strong suits.
Yeah.
I like solo camping a lot.
I like it too.
And we will be stopping at episode 12 this season, but it does go for 24 episodes. So I will continue to watch solo camping. And in the extra credit of next season, I will tell you guys how I feel about the end.
I plan on taking a little goose and a gander at it. I think it's good. And so I feel like I should just keep going, you know? Like,
You can do extra credit.
yeah, that'll be a new experience.
Yeah, you just have to add about 29 more animes to that list, and then we'll be up to speed.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the easy part, to do 29 more animes.
That's what I tell myself anyway.